What is going on, guys? Welcome back to We Want Picks. My name is Jacob, aka the Freckled Salamander, here to bring you my full card quick pick video for UFC 302. But before we get started, I hope you guys are having a beautiful Memorial Day weekend. It is Memorial Day right now. I have no friends. I have no family. So I'm sitting here recording this video and working on my Lock of the Week video. So the least you could do is like the video, because if you like the video, this video could become more popular. And if this video becomes more popular, I might be able to get friends that invite me to things, especially on Memorial Day weekend, which would make my life so much better than it is. And if you want to take it one step further and maybe help me get a nice, beautiful family, find a nice, beautiful wife in Brazil, become a premium member today at WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 a month. Let me let you in on a little secret that Angelo doesn't want you to know. If you sign up today, Monday or Tuesday if you're watching on Tuesday, or Wednesday if you're watching on Wednesday, or Thursday if you're watching on Thursday, remember, it's only $10 a month. Typically, we're going to say, you know what, that's going to get you 4 cards, right? Let's look at the chart behind us. We got this coming up, 302, 1, 2, 3, 4. But let's do some quick math here. And Angelo doesn't want you guys to know this. He doesn't want you signing up today because he doesn't want you to know this little secret. If you sign up today, boom, right? That's an X. This is Monday, right? You're going to get this week, right? You're going to get this next week because that's 7 days, right? You're going to get this next week because that's 14 days, right? You're going to get this next week, right? Because that's 21 days. But guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? Your thing is going to expire, right? I'm doing this through the camera. It's going to expire here in 4 weeks, but guess what? A lot of times, we put our bets in on Sunday and on Monday. So you're actually going to get a lot of the bets for 303 as well if you sign up. Angelo doesn't want you guys to know that. If you sign up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I mean, you're basically getting 5 events, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 pay-per-views. It's only $10 a month, and it's going to make my life a whole lot better if you do sign up. Check out the website, WeWantPicks.com. Sign up today. Let's get right into the action. That was the longest premium promo I've ever done. I apologize, but sign up. You know, what are you doing? Let's get into it. First up, and opening up the card for UFC 302 is going to be Andre Lima versus Mitch Raposo. And let me just say this. I understand the value and the tenacity and the attributes that Andre Lima is going to bring into this fight. I was at the Apex, right? If you guys didn't know, I went to the Apex. I watched the bite happen in real time. We were sitting there. What the hell's going on? I was yelling at Chris, get control of the fight, Chris! We didn't know what the hell was going on, but it was a DQ win for Andre Lima in that fight. I'm going to say this. I understand he's talented. He's probably the more dangerous fighter in this matchup, right? I think he's a little bit more powerful striker on the ground. I know he can get taken down, but he's very dangerous on the ground. He showed that in that last fight. He can throw up some wild stuff, really good scrambles, get back to his feet. I like this guy, Mitch, man. Hey, I like this guy, Mitch. Right? He's going to be kind of like a hometown kid, Northeast guy, right? I like his boxing. When I was watching him and a couple of his fights, and I even messaged the guy I'm about to reference right now, to me, he looks like Adrian Yanez with the boxing, right? Nice high, tight guard, good footwork in and out, will work the body, digging into the body. Seems like he has really good vision defensively, in, out. Obviously, the level of competition hasn't been incredible, but you can see there's something there in the striking. And also, he's got the wrestling as well. And what I love the most, especially in his last fight, was he will go to the wrestling. He didn't need it. So guess what? He didn't force that. He was having so much success in the striking that he said, no, I'm going to keep it on the feet. In this fight, what I see him doing is mixing in the striking, go tit for tat with the striking, and hopefully, in my mind, he's mixing in a takedown to end rounds. Let's steal rounds, right? The striking's probably going to be close. I have a feeling that Mitch is going to be pressing forward, which is going to be lovely for the judges, lovely for that crowd. They should be going crazy for him if they fill it up early. Let's mix in a takedown late, minute to go. Let's get a takedown, get some control, right? Let's solidify those rounds. What I do worry about, I'll be straight up and honest with you guys, this guy's taking it very short notice, 1 week notice, basically. We'll see if he can hold on there. I mean, usually these smaller guys, 125 cardio isn't an issue, but I could see a situation, and it's going to break my heart to say this. Bernardo Sopai, the Lion King. You guys know he was my lock of the week. Looked great first round. Looked great second round, and all of a sudden just fell off a cliff. I hope that doesn't happen with this guy, Mitch. but I like his boxing. I like his decision-making. I like his vision in the defense. I know how good Andre Lima is, but I think this kid can go tit for tat. Strike for strike with him in the striking, mix in a takedown to solidify rounds, maybe even get some control, better control than the guy had against Lima in the last fight. I'm going Mitch Raposo in this fight. Hometown kid. He's been waiting for this opportunity. He's got a lot of support behind him. I think he gets it done. It's probably going to be a close fight. Hopefully he doesn't gas in the end. I think he can squeak out 2 rounds and win this fight. Let's move on to the next one. Edwards versus Ailin Perez. And I'll be honest, I almost bet Ailin. Right? Almost bet Ailin. Almost subscribed to the OnlyFans a few times too. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I can trust her. I don't know if I can trust. I understand that the path to victory should be so obvious, right? Joselyne can be taken down. She can be controlled. Ailin's got some decent takedowns. Probably a little bit underrated takedowns. I think her control is a little bit lackluster. But for some reason, it just feels like she's going to fuck this up. It feels like she's going to fuck this up. Right, the path to victory is just so obvious, but she is just she's a fiery girl, right? She's a passionate girl. I guarantee that she's a passionate lover. There's no doubt about that. When you're that fiery Latina type female, and that's what we're looking for. Everyone's looking for that in their lives, right? Passion, right? Willing to explore, if you will. I guarantee Ailin is that type of girl, but what I worry about when you bring that emotion into an emotional fight, if you guys do not know, Joselyne Edwards kind of beat the shit out of Ailin Perez right before her fight. Almost got her fight canceled at the UFC Apex PI facility. Gave her a black eye. I don't know the ins and outs, but like kind of jumped her, and then there was a situation. So now this is like a, okay, you want to fight, let's fight type of situation. Ailin could come in, get a takedown, get a little bit too hot, heavy, emotional in the first round, and then start getting tired. And if she starts getting tired against a veteran like Joselyne, she's going to lose. So that is what's making me stay away. The path to victory seems like it should be obvious, right? My pick is going to be Ailin because she should be able to get the takedowns and win. But there's something about this that she's going to try to chase a finish, not get the finish against the veteran. How many times, especially in women's MMA, that we've seen the veteran kind of take over late first round, into the second round, all of a sudden it's like, oh no, Ailin minus 200. I'm staying away from it. She is going to be my pick, but something tells me she might fuck this up. So let's move on to the next one. Nikki Gall versus Bassil. Hafez. In my mind, right? In my mind, and I've bet Bassil already. Right? If you're a premium member, you already saw that $10 a month, WeWantPicks.com. I just gave you one for free. I'm not going to tell you how much I put on it. But I'm telling you right now, $500,000 on Bassil Hafez and hedge it with the Mickey Gall sub seems like it should be the play, right? That's not financial advice. That's not me telling you what to do with your money. But Bassil Hafez has showed in that JDM fight a couple things. 1, he is tough as shit. 2, he is relentless with the takedowns. 3, he's got a chin. 4, he's... I don't know if that showed up on screen or not. The Apple thing popped up with my thumb and I was like, what the fuck is going on? He's got a good chin. He showed that he can get out of guillotines. I mean, a couple of those JDM guillotines were actually pretty tight. He didn't panic at all. I think he's a black belt himself, just side control, got out of the situation. I do worry about kind of a guillotine situation with Mickey Gall. He's a little bit slicker than a guy like JDM. But Mickey Gall is a chin-up pressure striker that gets dropped, that gets hit. That is, I mean, his defensive striking is terrible. Doesn't have the offensive wrestling. He really just needs a weird scramble to get on your back and try to choke you out. In my mind, if Bassil Hafez is losing this, he's probably going to get submitted, right? I don't think Mickey Gall's going to knock out Bassil. I don't think Mickey Gall's going to control a guy like Bassil, who's big, strong, physical, knows what he's doing in the grappling, in the wrestling, for 2 rounds to be able to win a decision. In my mind, you load up on Hafez. If you want to, hedge it with the Mickey Gall sub, and unless Mickey Gall has completely transformed his game and comes in like a very dynamic kickboxer and finds like a head kick knockout or something like that versus Bassil, Bassil should be all over this dude. I mean, I wouldn't even try. You don't even need to wrestle Bassil. Get in his face. His chin's going to be in the air. Throw some nice straight shots right down the pipe, and you're going to hit this dude. He might wrestle. He might get in trouble, but I don't see it. I'm going Hafez. I'm pretty confident in him in this week. We'll see how it plays out. Mickey Gall is what he is. Let's move on to the next one. Niko Price versus Alex Morono. You want to trust either one of these guys? Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to trust either one of these guys? I'm going to make a pick right now, and it's not going to be a confident pick. If you guys don't know, I've picked against Niko Price for Lock of the Week. That was Philip Rowe, who was also on this card, and we'll get to him. Philip Rowe was my lock of the week. Nearly lost that fight. Niko Price is talented enough to beat a lot of people, man. He is talented enough to beat a lot of people, but he's also sloppy enough and weird enough to lose to just about anybody as well. So off the rip, Niko Price is a hard guy to trust, and I understand a little bit the plus 200 or whatever it is at this point for Niko Price. But then you look at the flip side. And Alex Morono, again, I love Alex Morono. Again, a former lock of the week. Alex Morono didn't win the fight, but when you become a lock of the week, I really see something inside of you. I really put myself inside of you. I'll spend 3 nights inside of these fighters before I make them lock of the weeks to really, I really get deep inside of them to understand what they're all about. And Alex Morono, I don't know how you can trust him. I don't know how you can trust a guy like Alex Morono at this point. It seems like he is a guy that comes in and he is a good fighter, very, very dangerous on the ground, but doesn't even want to be on the ground, doesn't really use his grappling unless he has to. He wants to stand, he wants to bang, he wants to try to knock people out. He makes mistakes and he gets in trouble because of it. Doesn't really listen to Safe Sayoud. Right? Fortis MMA, you'll hear Safe Sayoud just yelling the entire time, Alex, hands up, Alex, throw the right hand, Alex. I mean, he just doesn't really listen to his corner, kind of does his own thing. He's a talented guy and he should be able to beat a guy like Niko. But this is probably going to be a close fight. Unless he knocks out Niko, which he very well could. This is probably going to be a close fight. And if you want to pay minus 200, minus 220, minus 230 for a guy like Alex Morono, like I said before, God bless you for it. He's going to be my pick. He should win. But I've just been watching too many Alex Morono fights where it's just like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? He's not really active enough to win rounds. Doesn't really have fight-changing power to kind of steal rounds. Won't really use offensive wrestling or grappling. He can get taken down and will play that guard game off his back, and now you're losing rounds. He's a hard guy to trust. He's going to be my pick. He should beat Niko. But this seems like it should. I mean, in my mind, if I'm pricing this, when I was breaking this fight down, it's like Alex Morono like minus 125. Alex Morono maybe minus 150. 200, 230. No, thank you. Moving on. Phil Rowe versus Jake Matthews. Again, I already mentioned it. Phil Rowe, former lock of the week. I love Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe gave me one of the most iconic lock of the week finishes of all time. You want to talk about Max Holloway's lock of the week, knocking out Justin Gaethje in the last minute? I was just as hyped when Phil Rowe against Niko Price came back because he was done. He was dead. He was out. We were panicking. The live stream reaction, you can go find it if you want. And all of a sudden, Phil Rowe lands a left hand. He's storming Niko. He wins the fight, and we went absolutely crazy. There will always be a special place in my heart for Philip Rowe. And then I watched him, picked him, and bet him against Neil Magny. The fuck was that? He was having success at distance, striking with Neil Magny. Everybody knows when you're fighting Neil Magny. Hey, don't clinch Neil Magny. Don't clinch Neil Magny. That's what he wants. Even if his back is against the fence, he wants to hold you. He wants to try to work takedowns off those clinches. He wants to control you. And that's the sole reason why Phil Rowe lost that fight. Who is game planning for Phil Rowe? He is a hard guy to trust at this point because he should have finished Neil Magny in the first round. Stay at distance, put his back against the fence, and just fucking box this guy. Now he's coming against Jake Matthews, who has, in my mind, a little bit underrated boxing, can be slick on the ground as well. I believe that Jake Matthews is going to be the pressure fighter. And in being a pressure fighter in kind of a point fight, unless Phil Rowe is able to find a shot early, I think that's going to be enough to win. Pressure. Scoring points. Phil Rowe could land a big shot. He can win this fight. Jake Matthews isn't anything special in the striking, in the grappling. Phil Rowe's a good grappler himself as well. But I think it's just simply going to be the pressure and the volume of strikes from Jake Matthews, who is willing to get in the pocket and exchange. And Phil Rowe, who, you know, he fights on the outside, then he's on the inside. It seems like Phil Rowe at this point doesn't really know who he is or who he wants to be. He's a hard guy to trust. I'm picking Jake Matthews. Let me know. Am I betting Jake Matthews? No, I'm not betting. You guys gotta understand, picks and bets are completely different. I have to pick fights. I'm picking Jake Matthews. I think the volume and the pressure is gonna be enough to win this fight. It's probably gonna be a close fight. Phil Rowe is gonna be live for a knockout or something weird on the ground. Jake Matthews isn't anything special. But when I'm looking at this fight, I can't trust Phil Rowe anymore. At this point, Philly fresh. I love the dude. I'm gonna be rooting for him. But I gotta go Jake Matthews. I just think the volume's gonna be a little bit too much. He's gonna win this fight. Let's move on to the next one. Grant Dawson versus Joe Solecki. Grant Dawson? What is he? Minus 350? 360? I think he's minus 390 at this point. Right? You trusting Grant? Let me know in the comments. You guys trusting Grant Dawson? Huh? The guy that got dropped? Oh, you thought I was going to say Bobby Green, right? Obviously got dropped and finished by Bobby Green. Right? The guy that got dropped by Mark Madsen. That's your guy? Minus 400? I want to watch that again. First round, boom, down he goes. Just like the Bobby Green fight, boom, down he goes. Was able to get a takedown off of that. Saved his fucking life, saved his career probably, right? You want to go rewatch that Ricky Glenn fight? Huh? And I'm not even talking about the third round where he got fucking dominated, nearly finished, probably was finished. Couldn't even get up after that fight. James Krause had to run in the octagon and pick this guy up. Otherwise, they were going to call that fight. Got 10-8. In the third round, I'm talking about the second round. Watch that first takedown attempt in the second round, that Ricky Glenn fight. Right? Guy gets sloppy. Right? Grant Dawson is a sloppy motherfucker. I have no doubt in my mind Grant Dawson is going to win the first round. And he could find a finish against Joe Solecki in the first round. But if this gets out of the first round, I will make a guarantee right now that you guys are going to be fucking sweating. Putting Grant Dawson in parlays. Playing him straight up at minus 400. Because this guy is relentless in the grappling. And Joe Solecki isn't anything special on the feet. Right? I'm not trying to act like Joe Solecki's this dominant guy, but he knows what he's doing in the grappling. He's going to make Grant Dawson work in the grappling. And if this hits out of the first round, I know how sloppy Grant Dawson gets. He's relentless. He's not going to fucking stop. Right? But that dude is fucking sloppy. And when you're sloppy against another guy that's a grappler who knows what the fuck you're doing, all of a sudden you're on your back, you're losing minutes, you're losing rounds, and you just lost the fucking fight. Okay? I'm not going to bet Joe Solecki at this point. I'm going to keep an eye on it. These odds are moving. I might play it right before. I'm going to look at this Thursday, Friday, WeWhatPicks.com. Let's see what these plays end up being. But there is no way in fucking hell, after watching Grant Dawson get 10-8 by Ricky Glenn, get dropped by Mark Madsen, right? Get dropped and finished by Bobby Green, that I'm putting Grant Dawson in a parlay, minus 400, playing him straight up, minus 400. My pick for this fight, Joe Solecki. I think he can weather that first round storm. I think he's going to put up the pace, the pressure, make him work in the second round, steal that second round. And then the third round, I know Grant Dawson is relentless. I think I'm going Joe Solecki to win that third round, win the second, win the third, win the fight. Let me know if you guys agree. If you disagree, I just don't know how anybody's trusting Grant Dawson at this point, but people are putting money on him. Good luck. Next. Roman Kopylov versus Cesar Almeida. Cesar, not really sure. Let me say this. Cesar, I'm going to call him Cesar. It's a better name. Cesar was going to be my lock of the week for his last fight. He was a slight dog versus that wrestling, whatever that guy's name is. And I didn't do it. I'm going to tell you why I didn't do it. When I'm watching this guy, I understand the accolades that he's supposed to bring into the octagon, right? All the kickboxing stuff. He's beat Alex Pereira. You're going to hear that over and over again. Oh, he's beat this guy. How? Of course he's going to beat Kopylov. Kopylov can't, blah, 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 blah. When I'm watching this guy, and the reason I didn't make him my lock of the week, when I watch that Contender Series fight, when I watch him striking in MMA, even in kickboxing, I understand he's got a chin. I understand he's durable. He's got power, right? And if he comes in and knocks out Kopylov, it's not going to be crazy surprising. I don't see the speed. You know? I just don't see the speed in the combinations. I don't see the speed in the footwork. And this could be a situation where Kopylov is in, he's out, and he's ranging, he's touch, and he's touch, and he's touch, and he's winning, and he's winning, and he's winning, and all of a sudden he gets clipped and he gets put out, and Cesar wins this fight. That would not surprise me in the slightest. When I'm looking at this fight, when I'm breaking down these strikers in an MMA fight, and I'm looking at that dynamic abilities of Kopylov, the speed of Kopylov, the range of Kopylov, Cesar just a little bit more flat-footed to me. I think Kopylov's going to win this fight. I think there's an opportunity for Kopylov to look really fucking good in this fight. The kicks are just, the speed to me, it just seems like there's like a glaring advantage in the speed. And I think people are going to see that immediately in that fight. The first kind of exchange, you're going to be like, oh, Kopylov is fucking fast. Kopylov is fucking good. He is going to be my pick for this fight. Have I bet it yet? Remember, picks and bets are a little bit different. Have I bet Kopylov? No. Am I thinking about it? I'm thinking about it. I just think the speed advantage is going to be there. Maybe he even mixes in his own takedown or two. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see if Cesar maybe tries to mix in a takedown too, or Kopylov, but Kopylov has pretty good takedown defense. I just think when I'm comparing two strikers that are going to stand in front of each other and strike for 15 minutes, I got to take speed. And I think Kopylov is the faster striker. He doesn't really have the power maybe as a Cesar. He's got enough power. He probably doesn't have the power of Cesar. If he can just stay out of that kind of big shot range, I think he's going to win this fight. He is going to be my pick. Let's move on to the next one. Randy Brown versus Zaleski. And this is a big, I would say, from everything, because I put out polls and I put out this, and I get a feeler for the public dog, right? Because you guys know I have my lock of the week, one underdog, every single week that I pick in my mind. It's going to win with 100% certainty. We have won, by the way, 7 of 9 weeks. Lock of the week, picking one underdog. And I know that everyone loves Zaleski. Probably one of the public dogs this week is going to be Zaleski. I'm picking Zaleski. I like Zaleski. That dude's tough as shit, right? You saw him against Renat, get dropped early, bad. Survived, came back, nearly finished Renat in that 3rd round. Zaleski is a tough, durable dude. I think he's going to have the pressure. Randy Brown is like, without that live knockout early, which I don't think he's going to have versus Zaleski, he just got a little bit too flashy, right? He's a little bit, thinks he's better than he is. And when you're not scoring those big moments and you're doing a lot of the dancing around, it feels like Zaleski is going to win those rounds. He's going to be winning minutes and he's going to win the rounds. And that's how I see this fight going. And that's why I am going to pick Zaleski as an underdog versus Randy Brown. Because I don't think Randy Brown's going to be live early for the knockout. In a decision fight, I thought Randy Brown lost to Wellington. You know what I mean? But what I do hedge on the side of caution, for all these people that love Zaleski this week, and I'm one of them. I'm one of you guys, but I'm trying to have a little think tank here. Everyone gather in. Let's really be honest about this. I have Zaleski. I bet Zaleski. But you can definitely tell that this dude's slowing down a little bit. You can definitely tell that this guy is slowing down a little bit. I know the post-USADA stuff and all this stuff going on. He is slowing down a little bit. So why I did bet him, I didn't bet him as much as I wanted to. If this was the old Zaleski, I fucking load up as a dog against Randy Brown. But he is slowing down a little bit. Even in those exchanges versus Renat, it's like, I just don't see the same snap on those shots from the old Zaleski. He is going to be my pick. I did bet him. WeWantPicks.com to see what that is. But I do worry a little. Let's move on to the next one. Jailton Almeida versus Alexandr Romanov. Listen to me close, okay? I've been sitting here for the last year and a half, and I tried to tell people, man, and you guys know it, and all the real ones know it though, right? And the Discord's free, by the way, in the description. I'm in there 24/7 all the time. Man, I tried to warn you guys about Jailton, man. I mean, I did, man. I tried to warn you guys about Jailton. I said he's a fraud. He went to heavyweight to wrestle people that didn't know how to wrestle because it's easy, right? He wants things to be easy. You understand me? He wants things to be easy. And when things are easy, he's looking great. He's a big dude. He's got the shoulders. He's got the abdominals. He's getting the takedowns, the control. He's doing what he needs to do when things are easy. When things aren't easy, Curtis Blades, second round, now all of a sudden he's losing, right? Curtis Blades was the first actual heavyweight wrestler that he fought, and he lost. People are going to be like, oh, what about the first round, Jacob? Right? All these takedowns, all the control looked great, was ragged on this guy, right? Okay, that's fine. Did he finish Curtis Blades in the first round? Nope. Okay, so they went to the second round. Then what fucking happened? Okay. Alexandr Romanov. Let's talk about him. People are going to be saying cardio issues. He's a quitter. Right? I understand that. I understand the optics of that. That doesn't take away the attributes that this guy brings into the octagon. Doesn't take away the fact that this guy is one of the more dominant wrestlers and grapplers that the heavyweight division has seen in a long time. This guy was the next up-and-coming prospect. Had some setbacks, still 17-2, right? I mean, even in that fight versus Volkov, had some shots to the gut. That's a 6'8" man with a size 18 foot putting his stomach in your belly, putting his fucking big ass foot in your belly button. It's gonna hurt a little bit. Got a little bit tired. Turtled up, no big deal. Against Jailton, he might get taken down in the first round, right? He might get rode out in the first round. Jailton's not really a finisher like that. He didn't have crazy ground and pound. I fully expect this to go to the second round, right? And then if it does go to the second round, we're gonna really find out. We're going to really find out. Because all these question marks about Romanov and his gas tank, I don't really think there's that big of an issue. Right? Even in the first round, if you're betting Jailton, you better pray to fucking God. Okay? Whatever God it is. That Jailton doesn't shoot a half-ass takedown, get hip-tossed with Romanov on top of him. Because Romanov on top of Jailton isn't going to last much more than 30, 45 seconds. I guarantee you that. You want to talk somebody that just turtled up, got hit in the head one time, turtled up, right? That was Jailton as well. So you want to talk about the quitting of Romanov? You want to talk about the quitting? Let's talk about the quitting of Jailton as well. This guy, I've told you, was a fraud from the very beginning. He went to heavyweight to wrestle because it was easy. He doesn't want to be in actual fights. And I believe Romanov is going to be ready for those takedown attempts. Could reverse them, but even if he does it in the first, he's not going to get finished. And I think Romanov, surprise, surprise, can take over in the second round and really get this guy out of here if he ends up on top, which I do think he's going to. Curtis Blaydes was a decent wrestler. Romanov, in my mind, is a different level of wrestler than Jailton has ever seen. This fat fuck could hip toss Jailton, put him on his back, and then King Kong fist, double hammer fist to the promised land. I'm going with the actual wrestling, grappling heavyweight. The 17-2 Moldovo Punisher. Moldovo murderer, if you will. Alexandr Romanov, because Jailton is a fucking fraud. Let's move on to the next one. Kevin Holland versus Michal. Ola, what the fuck? Kevin Holland, he's had some tough times, right? Some tough fights. Michael Venom Page kind of really exposed this guy. Good news for Kevin Holland. Michal, not Michael Venom Page. So that's a good news situation. This also, in my mind, this was a set-up fight for Kevin Holland at 185 to be like, you know what? Let's featured fight. Pay-per-view. Let's get his name back out there because we like this guy. The UFC likes Kevin Holland. He steps up. He comes in for fights. He's willing to fight anybody, but he needs to win. He needs to keep winning for them to put him into pay-per-view spots, to keep selling these tickets, to keep getting people excited for him to be on main cards for pay-per-views, and that's what this fight is set up to be. Michal is a come-forward striker with decent power that shouldn't be able to touch a guy like Kevin Holland. If you're Kevin Holland, you cannot lose this fucking fight. If you lose this fight, guess what? You're not getting put on main cards again, right? You want to keep getting paid? You better beat this guy, Michal. Michal is kind of a first round or bust type of guy. And Kevin Holland should be able to use his range, stay away from the early danger of Michal, and kind of pick this guy apart late first round, second round, third round. Might be a decision, Michal, but I'm going Kevin Holland here. This fight feels like it was set up for Kevin Holland to shine, to get him another fight on another pay-per-view. They like this guy. They don't mind paying this guy. His fights are usually exciting. This should be a nice bounce back for Kevin. I bet Kevin, if he loses this guy, if he loses this fight against Michal, what are we doing, Kevin? Not a good situation. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, main event time. We got Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. Right? Sean Strickland. I picked against Sean Strickland as my lock of the week. Alex Pereira was a lock of the week. Underdog versus Sean Strickland. It's wild to think about that now, isn't it? Isn't it wild to think about that now? Alex Payne, the 2-weight division champion, was an underdog versus Sean Strickland. I couldn't believe it. That was the very first fight of my 10 in a row lock of the week streak. And by the way, 2024, Paulo Costa was also my lock of the week versus Robert Whittaker, right? And people are going to be like, oh my God, he almost won that fight. I agree. Almost got that first round knockout, head kick, had him hurt, didn't have enough time to finish him, but guess what he didn't fucking do? And guess what really pissed me the fuck off about Paulo Costa? In that third round, the fight's 1-1. He won the first round, lost the second round. The fight's 1-1. Paulo Costa has the forward pressure in the third round. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm going to win this. Paulo Costa's going to beat Robert Whittaker. What did Paulo Costa do in that third round? Exactly, that's what he did. Fucking nothing. Fucking nothing. Empty pressure. Empty pressure. If he throws just a few more strikes in that third round, he could have stole that third round, but that guy didn't give a fuck. Ended the fight, was like, well, I thought I did enough to win the third round. You fucking didn't. You fucking didn't. Paulo Costa is just not very good. And when I say that, I mean he's not very good compared to the top 5 of the division. Paulo Costa beats a lot of people ranked 6 through 20, right? Because he's a durable guy. His power's overrated, but he can hit hard enough. He's always pressuring forward. He's got decent wrestling, decent grappling. He's going to beat most people ranked 6 to 20 or 6 to 50, whatever the fuck it is, because he's just durable. He's big enough. He can bully people enough. But when it comes to the top 5 people, he's just not good enough. He doesn't have the fight-changing power to box these people, hurt them to win rounds. He doesn't have the technical striking. He gets hit all the time. He doesn't have he's not technical enough to out-technique these top 5 guys. And he doesn't have the cardio or anything else, the wrestling or the grappling that he can go to beat these top 5 guys. And guess what? Hate him or love him, Sean Strickland is a top 5 guy, former champion. In my mind, it's going to be Paulo Costa pressuring forward. Boom, jab, ooh, ooh, boo, jab, ooh, ready? Marching forward, ooh, swing wild, miss. Marching forward, ooh, oh, shit, I'm bleeding, ooh, swing wild, miss, ooh, jab. 25 fucking minutes. I think Sean Strickland's going to roll in this one. I haven't bet him yet, but I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely thinking about it. It's going to be 25 minutes in my mind of just jab, 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 jab. Paulo busted up, beat up, swinging wild, missing. He doesn't even really have fight-changing power to knock out a guy like Sean Strickland, which is one of his best chances to win, I guess. Maybe he tries to go the wrestling or grappling, but Sean Strickland's an underrated wrestler grappler himself. I think Sean Strickland rolls here. You guys can let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. I like Paulo. He's a fun dude. He usually has entertaining fights. I have no question in my mind that he's going to be coming forward, swinging wild. Maybe he can land something. But Sean Strickland's just too technical. Paulo's not a real technical guy. And unless something weird happens, I think Sean Strickland rolls. Let's go to the main event. Event time! We got Makhachev versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier. And I know a lot of people, man. God, I know a lot of people are going to be picking Dustin, betting Dustin, because now the odds are getting even crazier, right? I don't know what I have on this graphic. I did him yesterday, but now it's like minus 700 for Islam. So I understand that people putting $5 on Dustin, $10 on Dustin, this and that. I understand we're all going to be rooting for Dustin. I'm going to be rooting for Dustin, right? I have nothing against Islam. I've been an Islam fan for a long time. That dude is funny as shit. If you want to watch something funny, I talk about this all the time. Watch the old school vlogs, the AKA vlogs. When it was DC, I think he was the champ at the time. Khabib was still coming up. Khabib barely knew English. Islam knew like no English at all, but they have vlogs on YouTube, and Islam is the funniest dude in the entire world. Those are great vlogs if you've never watched them. Islam's a funny guy. I like Islam. And I know a lot of people like Dustin in this fight for whatever reason. And, you know, there's going to be a situation where if he wins, everyone's going to be like, I told you so. I told you so. But can we be honest, guys? It's a little bit of a Hail Mary. Can we agree on that? Disagree? Let me know in the comments. It's a little bit of a Hail Mary. Maybe he chases that guillotine and actually gets it. Maybe he's able to find that knockout. We've seen Islam get hit. We've seen Islam get knocked out. We've seen him get stung and hurt by Volkov. I mean, Volkanovski. Volkov, like, what the fuck? Big-ass Volkov. That would be an interesting fight, by the way. We've seen him get stung by Volkanovski, and Volkanovski obviously is a small guy, and Dustin is as good a boxer as anybody. So there is going to be that chance that Dustin can get in the pocket and swing and hurt this guy. Because what I will say about Islam, and I've talked about this before, people compare Khabib and Islam all the time. Islam's a wild dude. He'll take more chances than Khabib. Khabib doesn't really fuck around, right? Khabib's got the boxing, but he's boom. He wants to get the takedown. He knows what he wants to do, and Islam will do that as well. But Islam's going to take some chances on the feet. There is nothing that Islam would like more than knocking out Dustin Poirier. He saw the highlight as well. He saw that head kick against Justin Gaethje, right? He saw, right, and he felt that head kick against Volkanovski, right? He's going to take some chances on the feet. There's going to be opportunities here for Dustin. So everyone that's saying that Dustin doesn't have a fucking chance, oh, there's going to be a chance. Oh, he's going to have a chance. And if he can land something and he can follow it up without getting taken down, right? Because I don't think he's going to put Islam out cold. But if he can hurt something enough on Islam and not get taken down afterwards, he's going to have a chance here. But the pick's got to be Islam, guys. He's improving his striking more and more. He's already a good striker. He's shown now that he can kind of take a shot and get a takedown even if he gets hurt. But Dustin is just so easy to take down, especially for a guy like Islam who can take anybody down. I don't think that he's going to come in with takedown defense like Volkanovski. Volkanovski's like trying to take down a garden gnome, right? He's just short, he's stocky, he's powerful. He just dig it with underhooks and just kind of stiffen up. Dustin's a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to take him down. I got to go Islam here. Again, I'm going to be rooting for Dustin. He's going to be more live than people give him credit for. But Islam is what he is, man. I mean, he is just so fucking dominant. It is absolutely insane. Hopefully, Dustin can pull this off. It would be amazing if he did. But this has been my full card breakdown for UFC 302. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. My name is Jacob. Make sure, hey, remember, 5 events. WeWantPicks.com. Do the math. Only $10 a month. My name's Jacob, a.k.a. the Freckle Salamander, and I'm out. Peace.